Hi guys, welcome. Dan here from the Magic Junk Drawer. So I wanted to tell this story because I think it might help those of us that are struggling with not being able to find the positive side of the situation. There has got to be a positive side. So last year I went back to taking voice lessons professionally, and I had several years off. And during the time that I was off, I really felt that my voice had grown. Like I felt like my range grew, my lung capacity grew, I was able to hold notes much longer, and I really wanted to go back, and I wanted a professional opinion. So I went back to the same place with the same teacher that I had years ago, and in my normal fashion, I started on Mercury retrograde when the moon was new moon. So it was the perfect time for me to return back to something, and the perfect time for me to start something. And so, yeah, and my teacher definitely, she was like, you definitely have made a lot of improvements over the years. So anyway, so this past week, like last week, before my last week's lesson, I was singing the songs that we've been working on and recording them so that I could listen to them and so that I could bring them to her so she could listen to them. And the one song that we had been working on was by the Carpenters, Superstar, but it wasn't written by them. It was written by Bonnie Bramlin and somebody else. I don't remember. But anyway, and this song, you could look it up. It's a famous song. Once you hear it, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know that song. Now, I have my mother's voice, 100% my mother's voice. And like all the men in my family, they're all tenors. And I have like this very low voice, just like my mom. So anyway, so I'm listening to the recordings, and this one song, the chorus is, don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? All right, anyway. And I swear to God, listening to it, it was like, it was my mother. It was like, don't you remember I told you to put the laundry in the dryer? Don't you remember that I told you to take the garbage out? I was like, oh my God, delete, delete, delete. So I went in that night, and she was like, well, how did it go? And I was like, well, I got to tell you, Superstar didn't make the cut. And I explained, I'm like, I don't know what was going on, but it was just really bad. And so this is what she said to me, not even listening to anything. Before we even got started, she said, I don't think that it was really bad. She said, what I think is your ears have gotten better. So your ears are more trained to hear when you're off. So if you heard something that didn't sound right, it's because your ears have gotten that much better. So of course, in my sarcastic head, I'm like, oh, so I always sucked really bad and my ears sucked so much that I didn't even know? Oh, I always sounded that horrible? Cool. But that was just my sarcastic reaction because, like I said, I'm always sarcastic. But driving home that night, now the recording had been deleted. She didn't hear it. Nobody heard it. I deleted it. I really got to thinking about that in that situation, instead of looking at it like, oh my God, I sound like my mother's screaming about something, flip it around to, but your ears have gotten that much more, what's the word that I'm looking for? The ears are more sensitive to when you're off. You can hear it better. So look at it that way rather than, there's always got to be a positive side to everything. Yeah, if you can just look at it on the positive side. So I thought about that several times over the week. Don't think about how bad it sounded. And you know what? It was also, it could have just been me. I might have been, some days it's just like that. It's like some days you go out for a run and it's like a struggle, your legs feel like lead. Then there are other days I open the front door and I could run forever. So it's the same thing with singing. It's the same thing with anything you do. So it may have just been that day I was gravelly or nasally or whatever it was, and it came through. And I'm also not in a professional studio. I'm like on the iPhone and like the computer, and it is what it is. But the point being is that try to look at it from the positive side. There has to be a positive side in there somewhere. So I kept thinking about that throughout the week when I would get frustrated with something. And not even just pertaining to singing, but frustrated with anything. Think about it. But your ears are that much more on target. Your ears have gotten better. Your ears are improving. So there's always got to be a positive side to whatever it is the situation is that is negative. Try to find it. It's not always that easy. So if you can't find it, just think of that. Your ears got clearer. You can hear it better. Your hearing is improved. But it's true, because that's important. It's important to have good hearing. You want to know when you're off, especially when you're off just a little bit. All right, if you like what we're doing here at the Magic Junk Drawer, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.